morning, Challengers. This is your host, Shruti Ajaki, back with another episode of the Challenger Channel. Today is March 5th, 2021, and it is an A-Day. Joanne Ruth Bader Ginsburg was an American lawyer and jurist who served as an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court in the United States of America. She started from 1993 till her death. She was also known as the first Jewish woman and the second woman to serve on the court. She was elected by President Bill Clinton and was replaced retiring Justice Brian White. She also lost her sister and her mom when she was very little, but still grew to educate herself into who she was today. She played a big role in the case Ledbetter versus Goodyear, too. She spent most of her legal career into gender equality and women's rights. Unfortunately, Ginsburg died at her home in Washington, D.C. on September 18, 2020 at the age of 87. From complications of metastatic pancreatic cancer. Here is your quote for today from Ruth Bader Ginsburg herself. My mother told me to be a lady, and for her, that meant to be your own person. Be independent. That's from your host, Shrutika Ajaki. Now Gia and Donishri with our special segments.
What's up, Woodrow? It's Donishri back with your special segments with the Riddles of the Week and the Celebrity Birthday Shoutouts. So today's first riddle is, why is it that in South America you cannot take a picture with the person with the wooden leg? Your second riddle is, what is super easy to carry and lift, but really, really hard to throw? Put both your answers at this link. The first person to answer both riddles correctly will be featured on next week's Challenger Channel. Today's celebrity birthday shoutout goes to Madison Beer, who's turning 22 today. Madison Beer is an American singer and songwriter. She was born to a family in New York, and she began posting covers to YouTube in early 2012. She gained substantial media coverage when Justin Bieber posted a link to one of her covers. She released her debut single, Melodies, in 2013. That's all for today, Woodrow. Bye!
Hey, Woodrow. This week's book recommendation is Amal Unbound. This book is about a girl named Amal who lives in a stereotypical and unfair society, especially toward girls. Amal wants to be educated, but since she's a girl, the society prohibits her from doing that. The main plot of the story is that Amal gets captured and becomes a servant in the Khan Palace after unknowingly being rude to the prince. To fulfill her dream and make the lives of everybody in the society better, she must find a way to get herself out of this situation. Amal Unbound is very inspirational and interesting to read, so make sure to go check it out.
Happy Friday, Woodrow. This is Sports with John. The Woodrow basketball season is almost over, and it has been an exciting winter sports season. The boys' basketball season ended with a 3-6 record, a disappointing end to an unbelievable season. The girls' team is on the cusp of a winning season as they head into their last game today. Led by captains Meredith Klosik and Sabina Boga, who I interviewed early in the season, the girls led an amazing season even through unpredictable and much different circumstances. Congratulations to all of our Woodrow athletes for competing in the 2020 winter sports season. Up next in the spring is boys baseball, girls softball, and track. This has been Sports with John.
On March 5th, 1963, the hula hoop, a hip swiveling toy that became a huge fad across America when it was first marketed by Ram O in 1958, is patented by the company's co-founder, Arthur Mellon. An estimated 25 million hula hoops were sold in its first 4 months of production alone. Following the hula hoop, Ramo continued to produce a steady stream of wacky and beloved novelty items, including the Super Ball, Water Wiggle, Silly String, Slip and Slide, and the Hacky Sack.
Hello, Woodrow Wilson. This is Sarvesh Prankmore closing out your morning announcements. Alright, just a reminder that today is an A-Day, and that if you're a 6th grader, please feel free to join Woodrow Wilson's Family Game Night and check your email about information to how to join and how to attend. So, because March is Women's History Month, we were talking about Ruth Bader Ginsburg. So today, I'm going to give you a court case, the Supreme Court case, that RGB handled, one of those cases. Alright, this is the case of the United States versus Virginia, 1996. So, in Virginia, there was a military institute known as VMI, Virginia Military Institute. Kind of simple. But the most interesting part about this military institute, that it was prided as one of the only remaining male schools, meaning that only men could attend this. So an anonymous complaint was filed to DOJ about how this violates the Equal Protection Clause that was listed in the 14th Amendment. The DOJ took this case, and it was State versus VMI. In district court, this case did not win, so it went to appeals court. An appeals court ruled that VMI should make a course for women, and the state won the case. Now, this is where the court case starts to begin. Now, VMI created a women's course, and it was called VWIL, Virginia's Women's Institute for Leadership. Now, this course had a much more noticeable difference than VMI. It lacked the rigid military structure that VMI was known for. It had noticeably less funding, and it didn't really have the reputation benefits that VMI had. This once again prompted another lawsuit, and the case went through both district and appeals court, not succeeding in either, before finally arriving in the Supreme Court. Now, the most pivotal factor in this case, in my opinion, is frankly the one that was given by Justice Ginsburg, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And she gave something in law terms we call the intermediate scrutiny. Now, in intermediate scrutiny, if you guys have English class, it's kind of like signposts. Now, I know you might not like signposts, but it's kind of like a lens, almost, to see the case. Ruth Bader Ginsburg's point was, if there was gender-based classification, it only makes sense to apply it when there's an important government goal that must be achieved, or there is some action being extremely related to such stated goal. In both cases, the state of Virginia failed to provide any type of evidence to support this claim, and because of this, in a 7-1 decision, the Supreme Court ruled that Virginia's and VMI's actions were unconstitutional as stated in the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause. VMI now integrates the two genders, and this case serves as a prime example for law students to understand the intermediate scrutiny provided by RBG and to promote equality among our armed forces. As a fun fact, the armed forces actually had further policies in the near future during the War on Terror that had the combat exclusion policy removed. So, if you had any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to email us at the email addresses on the screen. That's all from your host, Sarvesh. Have a great day, Woodrow.